Hey guys, it's the Raw Wrap Up. Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitters, at Mayhem Show, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Check out all the stuff. Check out our friends, SliceOnBroadway.com. Check us out, ProWrestlingTees.com/WMS. We're actually talking to one of the guys from Pro Wrestling Tees on this week's Indie Mayhem Show. Check that out. More information, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. And of course, IndieWrestling.us for all your indie wrestling needs. Digital downloads, DVDs, blog around the Indies blog is going up and getting all over the place, and more. With me again, I'm down here in the wonderful, the luscious, there's an owl over there, Mayhem Studios here in Pittsburgh, PA. With me from Poughkeepsie, New York, the P2B connection, it's Mad Mike.
Oh,
really? Wait.
Actually, would you prefer doon?
What is this? What are these sound effects that you're making right now? What's happening?
Well, Sorg, last week I did a lot of science, and turns out WWE doesn't believe in science.
Listen, it was fun. It was fun. I know you like the science. You're pro wrestling, apparently, and the Bellatron is not exactly what you said it was, as far as when the breakdown was as a review, and we go through all the science of it, and the part where we broke Eamon when we scienced pro wrestling, which, hey, you know what? One time I applied pro wrestling to a physics project, and I got a B. I want to point that out there, so take that. But give us the quickie version of the Bellatron science.
Lol, Bella wins.
Okay, I meant like the science and why it's wrong.
No. WWE can't tell time.
Okay.
They can't tell time, and they just wanted to eliminate she who must not be named. That was basically it.
Okay. But other than that,
Sorg.
Other than that, regardless, okay, there was the gimmick, there's the clock. It was a fun thing for them to promote this with. I get it. But otherwise, we had two really good Divas matches tonight.
All right, but yes, and we did. But see, if you're going to do the clock thing, you either break the record or you have the clock end during the show. Because that's when it becomes important and interesting. Could you imagine, Sorg? Imagine this for a second. Now, this is how I would have done it. It's the best of both worlds.
And you're completely armchair. You're saying
I am
QBing this thing, man. But
I am.
But
Sorg, imagine, if you will, the Bellatron.
Imagine that.
Yes, I'm doing my John Sterling open for not John Sterling. Never mind, Rod Sterling for Twilight Zone. But
Rob Gordon?
Imagine no Rod Sterling. Imagine if
Rob Stewart.
God damn it, Sorg. Imagine if the Bella countdown ended during Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we had the match with Nikki versus Charlotte tonight.
Okay.
Imagine if Charlotte won the Divas Championship 2 seconds after the countdown elapsed. Best of both worlds. Nikki, longest reigning Divas champion by 2 seconds. Charlotte, new Divas champion. Nikki gets her rematch on Sunday.
Sounds too complex for Raw.
Nope. No, it's not. They do beat the clock all the time. It's the same shit. You can have a running tally while the match goes.
I don't know. I think otherwise, it looks like if we get Charlotte winning the belt at Night of Champions. Hey, I said it right. Like, that's a good moment. And now it's like, remember that time Charlotte won? Paige won her belt at a significant moment the night after WrestleMania, right? No,
but now
Charlotte won her. Charlotte will hopefully have won hers at a significant moment at Night of Champions.
No, but now it doesn't matter.
What do you mean now it doesn't matter?
Now it doesn't, because they did the celebration that would have mattered. They did the Dusty finish. They had Ric Flair in there. They had all of them super happy. She was crying in the ring holding the title. That should have been a legitimate moment. Now it's not going to be that because we've already seen it.
But now she has her moment, and whether she wins or loses, she's the longest reigning, and she gets to put that over. It's like the 1 in 21 and 1.
Yeah, but you could have done that with the scenario I described. Imagine if Nikki hits the rack attack point or hits a big move, the big forearm she has or whatever, turns around, looks at the clock, and points at the clock as the countdown expires. She holds her arms up. She's the longest reigning Divas champion, and Charlotte spears her as soon as she turns around and gets pinned. Hubris at its finest, Sorg.
True. I think the dates didn't match up, unfortunately, and I think this was their.
No, the dates actually did match up.
Well, no, for Raw, but I think regardless, they want the title change at the pay-per-view. They want you to. But now you to have. Remember, all the booking is leading towards make sure you're still paying your $9.99.
Yeah, but now it doesn't mean anything.
It
doesn't. If they didn't trot out,
we'll just agree to disagree there. And there was a lot more Raw that happened tonight. We had the first ever. There was Raw. We're very on separate sides. I thought we had a great Raw tonight. A lot of stuff happened. Everything's go home show, so you're not gonna have decisive victories. Everything's gonna lead into wanting you to go see what happens at the pay-per-view, right? And I think. Aside from those finishes, aside from those other things, we had fantastic matches by Raw standards. No, this was not NXT, although I was getting a little more NXT-ish with some of the ladies, I feel. We're seeing leaps and bounds. And again, I think it's just everybody's on all cylinders, not a night after SummerSlam, night after Raw sort of way. But it was very enjoyable. I was not bored by anything tonight.
I kind of was. I was taken out of it by a lot of what happened on Raw.
I was enjoying Miz and the Wyatts. I was enjoying a lot of the interaction there. The New Day was entertaining as hell. I thought even Sheamus and Cena had a really good match. And honestly, if anything was a low point, it was probably that. Again, 2 Divas matches, tag team match was a little weirded out. I don't completely understand what happened with the Stardust section. It was just
literally to promote the pre-show.
I feel like they that's the thing that the time got cut for, and it got a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and again, it's a live show. It's on the fly. You're going to be like, what just happened here? Also, the introduction, weird that was mid-month. I don't know if they just decided to do it this way or what, but they're doing the Connor's Cure Foundation, I believe it is. I'm sorry, I should probably pull this up site up, which is awesome. Connor, Pittsburgh, crazy, great story. I had a tweet, and I love, I legitimately love that, and not just tonight because they were doing something to promote the Connor's Cure thing, but generally in recent months, I love that Make-A-Wish kids and these cancer kids and everything are getting featured at ringside.
Oh yeah,
like celebrities have. This is something that
like the kid who got the IC title from Ryback last week.
Right, like stuff like that. The Make-A-Wish stuff has always been something that happened, but it's always been in the back and in the background, very much. Right? They're like, sometimes they're like, hey, look, we visited all these kids and we went over and did this stuff and they won an award for it. Great, and I know they're not tuning their horn a lot for that. And maybe that's the thing, they don't want to put over too much about it. But I like that they have the kids at ringside and like, hey, look at this kid got on Raw, like good for the kid, you know what I mean? And I think that's really cool and kind of, those are the real heroes kind of.
I have a question though.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're just doing this a lot to see who they want to give the Warrior Award to next year?
As far as
because they kind of set a weird precedent with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They've never said the Warrior Award is going to be annual, but it was heavily implied.
It was implied, and they didn't. They said somebody that shows these traits. It's not like it's going to be all cancer kids or anything like that, right? I mean, it's going to be. I'm not saying anything bad about this. I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But it just seems like that's what they've implied. Okay. We'll see what happens. We'll see how that plays out. But other than that, anyways, as we talked about, Sting's first match on Raw, very significant.
His second.
and a second. Now he has a winning record technically in WWE, as we've said. He went from the 0-1 to 2-1. So now completely in the positive going into his title match. And
I really wanted that tag match to end in a double DQ, so his record was 1-1-1 going into the pay-per-view.
You're a sucker for the details, Mike. Sucker for the details. But anyways, but no, I thought for what it was pretty good. I mean, definitely not the match of the night or anything like that. But that's the thing. But a lot of people, I think, would tune in for Sting. That he's back. That he's having a first match on Raw. You mentioned that this is of the people who recently signed or re-signed. He had a match on Raw before Brock Lesnar has in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I like that.
I want to know when Sting is going to work a house show, because I actually would love to see Sting work Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I think that would be super duper cool.
Is that something that's never happened?
I don't believe so. I think maybe back in like the early WCW, because I think early WCW might have run 1 or 2 garden shows, but not to my knowledge has Sting ever worked.
Yeah, the early WCW was really big on going into territories they had no business dealing with. Like their West Coast stuff, I think, fell flat as hell when they did that. But anyways, if I recall, I could be wrong. But
Sorg, do you know what the best part of Raw was tonight? Do you know what the best part was?
The part where Big E was doing snow angels in the middle of the ring and people were jumping over him for some reason.
Okay, that was the second best part.
Oh,
that's the first best part. Kevin Owens bringing out the book, The Secret. That was the best part of Raw.
I came mid part into that whole situation, but I am
Kevin
so
Owens.
pleased.
Kevin Owens is the internet. He's so good. He's so good. He takes all of the snarky jokes that we have, and he just manifests them.
He's a manifestation of the message board wrestling trolls, and it's just so great. It's so great.
He's just fantastic, and that was the best promo Ryback has cut in a while until he said, "The master of the feed me more," as if that's a thing.
Sure, it is.
No, it's not.
Dude, it's wrestling.
It's wrestling. What exactly is the feed me more? He has to be the master of it.
Give me an Ultimate Warrior promo, okay?
Yeah, but Sorg.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this a more intellectual time of professional wrestling that you can't?
No. Ultimate Warrior was
the feed me more. It's going to be a T-shirt next week, and he's going to sell a ton of them. And Hooven's going to be the first in line.
The Ultimate Warrior had dog shit promos too. Actually, I stand corrected. They were batshit promos.
Exactly, and that's the difference, and that's the genius of it. See, the problem is Ryback tries to be a normal guy
and read
muscles and read The Secret and
read the cue cards.
Whereas he should just go out there. You remember when Rhino was in there, and Rhino, like, we weren't sure if Rhino could speak English when he was teaming with Edge and Christian for a bit there. He just kind of growled and snorted a little bit. Like, I almost want to say that's what Ryback should have been doing this entire time. But he also set a precedent, other than us forgetting about the time where he went yip all the time. He did send the precedent when he's like pinning somebody and says something in cadence to the pinfall of sharks swimming with dolphins. There was an expectation after that. And this is just the point that we've got. Or the dolphin swing, I don't know what the hell it was. But, I mean...
I think he lost the point on that one, too. So
also, the Ryback, as he was once known as, I believe.
Thank you, Lillian.
Thank you, Lillian. But no, wasn't he like for
No. Brian called him the Ryback because that's wrong. He's never been known as the Ryback. Lillian accidentally called him the Ryback because she almost said the Big Show.
It should, you know what? It's fine. It's fine because he should be the Ryback, just like the Ultimate Warrior. Because really, what the hell is a Ryback? It's not like his parents named him Ryback Smith. Everybody's Smith, by the way. I don't know if you knows that tonight with me.
Yeah, Tamina Smith.
Tamina Smith. We determined in the hangout earlier tonight. But I feel bad for that whole. For her, I feel bad. But anyways, what else happened tonight?
We got a few more matches for Night of Champions, which is good since it was the go home show. But honestly, I really don't think much happened tonight. Like, it didn't make me that much more excited for Night of Champions as far as the go home show goes. Last week, again, this is the trend that they've been doing. Last week was a good show, a good go home show. This week, not so much.
It's
they flipped the booking.
I guess they did. Actually, they've been doing this a lot in the recent months too, where they have the good go home show the week early, whatever the case may be. No, I think they put a lot of pieces in place. I thought it was a solid Raw myself. I was very much entertained throughout the night. It caught my interest most of the night. I don't know if I've talked about this, but I do a lot of the show prep for Tuesday night and some other catching up with my emails over the weekend that don't deal with my Monday day client. And I found myself continually being pulled away from that. And that's my thing. Now you're saying, well, I was bored and it didn't really suck me in. And me, like, no, it was sucking me away from the work I was trying to get done. A little bit, mostly like, oh geez, Kevin Owens on the screen. I need to find out what's going on with this. What Sasha Banks and Paige? I'm going to pay attention to this. You know, there were matchups that were intriguing to me, and it worked. You know, or hey, they're doing that thing we said they should have been doing the last couple of weeks. You know, I think there was a lot of cool strides there. It's not like gonna make me drop $9.99 if I wasn't already on Night of Champions or anything like that, but it's kind of interesting to see it taking shape and everything. It's fine. It's a WWE show, and if you're a fan of that, I think you were very pleased tonight. And if you're not gonna like it anyways. Let's be completely honest with it. But no, I think it's fine. I think building up, and I'm loving the T-shirt mafia, the main event mafia of John Cena and Sting as a thing myself. I mean, I'm not over the moon about it or anything like that. I think it's kind of a weird thing, but I know the Sting marks are going to come out for it.
If they advertised it.
What do you mean if they advertised it?
They didn't advertise that Sting was going to wrestle tonight. If you're going to have Sting have his first ever match on Raw, don't you think you'd want to say something, like have that build up a week? I would, because then that might actually draw ratings in. It might say, whoa, Sting's actually got to wrestle for free?
Hey, you don't know if they made the decision tonight. Two, how many times have we seen them booking Raw over the years, especially back in the 90s, where you don't tell them what's going to happen. You just know Raw's going to happen tonight, and then you're
But Sorg, that was before the advertising age of social media.
The advertising for 3 hours later happens there in the first half hour. Right? You're telling me in those first 10 minutes, why the heck am I going to stick to the end of this? And that was, oh, Sting's going to wrestle tonight. Oh crap, I got to see this guy.
Okay, all right, but at the same time, if that's your line of thinking, oh, Sting's going to wrestle tonight. Who's he wrestling? Big Show. Oh, pass.
I think you underestimate or maybe overestimate the average wrestling fan. Again, we have to go back to this. This is not for us.
No, I know.
And
but seriously, if you're gonna have Sting wrestle
somebody, this is the same crowd where I have a good friend that was excited for the Divas search. Remember back when there was crap, and this is the stuff that gets our attention.
But they plugged that a week beforehand. If Sting is gonna wrestle a week before, like if Sting is gonna wrestle his first match on Raw, you tell people in advance that he's gonna do that. You don't say on the debut of Monday Night Football. You don't go in cold with an announcement like that.
When does Monday Football start? Like what time did this start?
It started at like 6:30 tonight.
6:30, okay.
Because there were 2 games, so it was running all night.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. If Sting wrestling on Raw, that's a big deal. I don't care who it's against. You plug that. You advertise that. You announce that.
Well, I think you're underestimating a way that social media may work when if they're on during the football games and stuff, and all of a sudden you see, hey, Sting's on Raw tonight. Oh, I think I'm flipping over there. I think it's more you don't need to do the advance quite as much.
I think it couldn't hurt.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt, but it's also the reason Raw is live, and you should be interested because you don't know what's going to happen, you know?
Well, the only thing they did advertise for this week turned out to be a big wet fart that killed the rest of the momentum of the show.
Which part was that?
The Divas title.
I disagree. I thought it was a good thing as a dusty finish, sure, but I thought it was interesting.
You shouldn't heavily promote something that you know is going to be a dusty finish. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Not on a TV where you're trying to get people excited for it. Because that doesn't, to me, promote Night of Champions.
Sure it does. Again, I go back to Saturday night's main event, like all the time. You did the thing. Yeah. So wait. So are you telling me that doing a weird finish leading into WrestleMania 4 to set up for that was a bad idea?
What weird finish leading into WrestleMania
4? Hulk Hogan losing the belt to Andre the Giant and flipping it over to $1 Million
Man? Because they announced a giant one-night tournament for WrestleMania 4.
All
That's different. And plus, half of those were horrible matches with double countouts and double DQs.
Yeah, it was a lot of weirdness.
And the one match that they did advertise, Hogan versus Andre, was a fucking draw, Sorg. So thank you for proving my point.
On WrestleMania, but still one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, in my opinion.
And you know why? That's because of the Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
But there were ways to get what everybody wanted out of the Divas title thing. There were ways to do it.
Well, this is the way they picked. This is the one that won in the boardroom, Mike, and we can debate all night long. Guys, let us know what you thought of Monday Night Raw. What do you think of going on? We're getting a little too big into this.
Did this Raw make you look forward to the next season of Raw? Because it didn't for me.
You can ask
premiere, Sorg. Season premiere.
You can ask that too. Check out everything wrestling.
Should have been next week after a pay-per-view.
WrestlingMayhemShow.com at Mayhem Show on the Twitters. Check out our friends, like I said, Slice on Broadway, IndieWrestling.us. I'll see you guys Tuesdays, live.WrestlingMayhemShow.com, 9 p.m. Eastern Time every Tuesday, and we'll see you then. At Mad Mike on the Twitters, at Sorgatron. Later, guys.